Because it's just the same bug that's been going around to everybody that's kind of been making the rounds that's going through your team right now.
I don't have the details. I just was told that he wasn't feeling well. So.
Rick, given all the conversations about the coronavirus around the league, how do you feel right now about the team, your comfort level with all the precautions that the NBA is asking teams to take over the next 48 to 72 hours?
I'm married to a beautiful infectious disease doctor, so I feel great. I encourage everybody to get educated the way I've been educated about it. And, we've just got to do the right things. And knowledge is the number one first step.
Would you be comfortable playing games in empty arenas if it came to that?
I'm not going to answer that question.
Rick, the other night, how did you feel about Lee's, and in particular, there were a lot of contributors the other night, but Lee, especially given the fact that his place in the rotation and on the floor has been erratic this year, the fact that he was able to step up and provide what he's been able to provide you, not just Friday night, but quite often recently.
Well, he's been rock solid all year, and even in the many situations when he hasn't gotten in the game, he's had an impact on our team. He's a great veteran. He's knowledgeable. He understands winning. He's helped all of our younger guys, with their approach to the game, with their developing a level of professionalism, understanding things about attitude, learning about how to defend certain guys in the league, all these kinds of things. And he and Berea both, when they haven't played, have been instrumental in helping the team get better, even if they're not on the floor. In recent games, he's been on the floor. He's earned those minutes. He's worked hard. He's stayed in shape. And in the Memphis game, he was a real difference maker.
I felt like, and maybe I'm wrong on this is why I'm asking if my perception is right, but I noticed that whenever he gets in the game and has meaningful contributions, and I thought I saw this with a guy like Raymond Felton, for example, a veteran who didn't play much, and then when those guys do get an opportunity to play, and they do tangible things that help produce winning, that the teammates are extra enthusiastic and extra supportive of them from the bench. Am I reading that situation correctly? Does it seem like that's the case?
Yeah, guys like Felton and Lee and, Berea is a different kind of example. They have the respect of their teammates, so those guys always pull for them. Boban's the same way. Yeah. We got kicked Boban out of the gym. Literally, like almost every day. He would overdo it every single day. He just loves playing. He's playing with our interns every day, and and he's got to be ready because we need everybody right now. We got 10 guys available tonight, and so this is we're in the home stretch of the season. The games are all meaningful. The games are all important, and the sense of team has never been more important than now.
Talk about the contributions of Jenny Busick and some other women on the NBA staff as we celebrate Women's History Month.
Yeah, Jenny does a great job for us. She's a great communicator with the players. She's really helpful to our staff because she has been a long-time head coach in the WNBA, and head coaching experience is something that's really important to have on your staff. And she her scouts have been tremendous this year. She does. The staff rotates every few games, and each of them end up with about 10 or 8, between 8 and 12 scouts of opponents during the season, and she's done a tremendous job with that.
Are free throws the hardest part of a game to simulate in practice as opposed to what goes on in games because of the circumstances during a game?
I don't think so. It's a mind thing. I think you can put your mind in a circumstance where you can simulate those kinds of things. And the biggest thing is process and a routine, and developing a process and a routine that you trust, and then trusting it.
Is something changing for you guys at home? There was a lot of chatter early in the year not taking care of business. Now you guys have won 4 in a row. Has something changed in that regard?
Well, we're trying to play better, and we know that winning at home is extremely important, particularly in the playoffs. And so there's been more of an emphasis internally, but the players are aware. I don't think we have to mention it, every single day. If you're a team's hovering around 500 at home, it's not a good sign, even if you're good on the road. And so we've done better. But this is another challenging game tonight.
Has the increase in productivity of Porzingis greatly impacted the end of games, in your opinion, in this recent stretch?
Everything impacts the end of games. A lot of things in the first quarter impact the end of games. We need to do a collection of a lot of little things great throughout the game to set ourselves up to be in as strong a position as possible at the end of games. But KP's play has been tremendous. Particularly over the last couple weeks. I mean, it's just been terrific.
Rick, are you surprised when you look at the Pacers? They're a team that normally does things their way. Defensively, a lot of the adjustments that they've made since the last time you've seen them, but they don't down the side pick and roll much anymore. They're switching more. They have their bigs hedging, things that they normally don't do. Do you see that? Are you surprised by that because they normally do things their way? And 2, do you see that more often now around the league because some of these offenses have become so prolific and dynamic, like yours with the three-point shot, that is causing coaches to experiment maybe with some more things than they otherwise would?
Yeah, listen, I'm not going to get into a public analysis of what Nate McMillan's doing. The guy's a great coach, and he knows their team. And look, every team makes the adjustments that they feel are necessary to be successful, not only on a given night, but also, long term. I mean, they're looking toward the playoffs as well. And so the things that they're doing for a reason.
Rick, what do you think of the Nets' decision to move on from Kenny Atkinson?
It caught a lot of people by surprise. I found out more about it yesterday, and it looks like it's going to be a really great situation for him, that he's going to be able to step away, and he'll have great options again next year. It's a dynamic business. I mean, dynamic changes happen all the time in this league, and oftentimes unexpectedly. But I know that the Nets organization has great respect for Kenny. He and Sean Marks executed one of the great turnarounds that we've seen in modern NBA history with that franchise. They were a team that didn't have first-round picks for a long time. They got players better. They were creative with acquiring guys. Kenny was the guy that was most responsible for, turning D'Angelo Russell into an all-star, and then, subsequently they got to the playoffs, and I think the third year of that rebuild, or third or fourth year, whatever it was, but they got way ahead of what everybody thought was going to be the schedule, and so sometimes there are reasons things need to change. I don't know all the reasons, but I do know that there's a great deal of mutual respect, both of the Nets organization for Kenny and Kenny for the Nets organization and their players, and so I think it's going to be a good situation for both.
Hey there, NBA fans. For exclusive NBA content, subscribe to Fanatics View YouTube down below.